Welcome to Emotions and Stories. Kids have a very vivid and wild imagination, and sometimes a small thought can become a huge part of their life and a reality that they are not able to shake off. Our today's story is about a child who has created a world of his own. Let's begin our today's story, Neglected Feelings. 12-year-old Nikhil was always considered a quiet and understanding child. But deep inside, there was something no one had noticed, a deep resentment. Resentment towards his sister Ria, who was loved by everyone, always praised and celebrated. His parents applauded her every small achievement, showering her with compliments. Nikhil felt like he was constantly overlooked. Over time, his resentment turned into anger and discontent. Everybody thought Ria was perfect, top of her class, talented in music, and favorite of all relatives. Whenever she won an award, their parents would beam with pride. Ria is so brilliant. Son, you should try harder too, you can do it. Nikhil complained multiple times. Mom, you always praise Ria. Why don't you ever appreciate me? His mother would smile and say, Oh dear, you're our smart child. You should understand. But Nikhil didn't understand. If they loved him just as much, why didn't he feel it? His parents tried many times to explain. Nikhil, love isn't about words. When I pack your lunchbox, when dad fixes your bicycle, when we play your favorite movie, these are also ways of showing love. But Nikhil felt these were just excuses. If they truly loved him, why did they always make him feel second to Ria? Ria tried to convince him. Bhaiya, look, I don't want to annoy you, but mom dad love you just as much. If they do, why don't I feel it? Nikhil snapped angrily. Ria looked at him and took a deep breath. Bhaiya, you've been my best friend since childhood. When dad scolded me, you stood up for me. When I was sick, you stayed up all night to take care of you. Can't you see how much I love you? Nikhil looked away, rejecting her words. But mom, dad? Ria gently held his hand. Bhaiya, mom always says you're the strongest. When she puts your favorite snack in your lunchbox, when dad teaches you how to ride bike, when they buy you your favorite sweets after every test, these are all the ways they show their love. Why can't you see it? But Nikhil's heart was so filled with anger and resentment that he refused to accept any explanation. Time passed, but Nikhil's thoughts hardened. He started believing no one cared about him. One day at dinner table, he blurted out, If I weren't in this house, no one would even notice. His dad got angry. Don't talk nonsense, Nikhil. His mom looked hurt. Don't say that, beta. Ria was silent. She felt like no words could convince Nikhil anymore. That night, when everyone was asleep, Nikhil quietly packed his bag. He wanted to prove that if he left, maybe then they would realize how important he was. He reached the train station, sat on a bench, and wondered what to do next. Would mom and dad come looking for him? But as midnight passed and no one came, his anger slowly turned into fear. The cold was setting in, his stomach was growling, and as he sat alone on the bench, he realized there was no place like home. But what should he do now? Should he go back or should he move forward? Just then he heard his parents' voice in the distance. They were standing near the police station asking someone for help. His mom's eyes were red, dad looked worried. Suddenly somebody grabbed his arm. He turned and saw Ria. Bhaiya, are you okay? We were so scared. Ria's eyes were filled with tears. For the first time, Nikhil started wondering, Had he misunderstood everything in his anger? His mother hugged him tightly. Never do this again, Nikhil. You mean the world to us. And at that moment, Nikhil finally realized that he was never alone. Maybe love is expressed in different ways, but that doesn't mean it's any less. I hope you enjoyed today's story and understood something of Nikhil's dilemma. Do let us know in the comments below what you think about it. Thank you.